Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Apex Racing TV and welcome back to the Racehub World GT Championship in association with Simmortal. Andrew Woodhouse here with Alex Simpson at the Road Atlanta circuit in the United States. And Alex, this one is quite technical, it's twisty, it's narrow, and we should see some interest tonight.
Yeah, hello everybody. Looking forward to this one. Road Atlanta, what a fantastic circuit. It's one that sometimes you can hate to start off with. The curbs really bite you here, and it's quite a challenge for the engineers out there as well. So like you said, Andrew, it's a bit tight, it's a bit twisty in sections, but then you've got a really fast back straight as well. So you need to strip the downforce off the car, and it's a case of, do you go for maximum speed through the first couple of sectors, or do you focus on the last sector on overtaking? It's a bit of a minefield, and I think with so many different sort of balance to performance of these GT cars out there, it's going to be tough to know what to go for. And actually, we were commenting off air just a moment ago how good the spread was in this series, considering the Blancpain World GT Championship that started off just this weekend at Bathurst was literally a bit of an Audi fest. It's great to see, actually, this series has a great variety of cars out there.
Indeed they are. And, you know, it is Audi on pole, I will say that, but it is Mercedes in second, and then several Ferraris at the back end of the top 10 as well. We'll get to that in a moment. But looking at the points after 6 races, Carl Janssen leads the way by 9 points over David Baker in the Ferrari. Christian Rose in his Ferrari is in 3rd, then it's Matt Bunn in 4th, Paul Smith in 5th. Chris Wood 6th, 7th Marco Mogren, Andy Shield 8th, Bart Dowman in 9th, and Michael Hall in 10th. So, looking pretty competitive. CQR Racehub leading the way by 121 points over Radicals Online JRT team. Then it's Team Mad number 1, Radicals Online SSW, and then Smile Time Racing in 5th, which is good. Safest driver is, at the moment, Christian Rose. So, we're looking to carry on that safety. 2 Ferraris in the top 3 in the standings then, Alex. Maybe not something that we expected, really, but it is showing that that car can be a good all-rounder in this series.
Yeah, I don't see why it shouldn't be, to be honest. Like I say, got good potential in it. I think it's just a case of it's a bit slow to get up to its speed, but this being one of those circuits where you need that sort of high speed, should be it should do well.
Top speed is very good in that car.
It just takes time, doesn't it, to get there? I think that's the issue.
I mean, we raced essentially the same car at Le Mans, and you know, that's a very good car, good handling, and yeah, we'll see exactly how they get on here. I think it will bode well for them because Ferrari was always very well balanced in the long runs. We're not exactly having long runs here, but 20-minute races, of course. But I think it will bode well for the likes of Dave Baker and Pete Newman and things like later on. Right.
Have they made a miss in the start here? Because I know it is a safety car. I couldn't see the safety car for a minute. I was thinking, are we going for a normal start? But no,
I would have enjoyed a normal start. I'm not going to lie to you, mate. But yeah, rolling starts are the standard for this series. I'll take you through the grid order then. Fraser Williamson on pole position. He's put the Audi there, and very nice time indeed, by nearly a quarter of a second over Ash Sutton in 2nd place. And the British Touring Car Champion is followed by the current leader of the championship, Carl Janssen, in 3rd, Chris Wood in 4th, Josh Thompson is in 5th, and 6th is Nicole Foggy. 7th is David Baker, Pete Newman is 8th, Stuart McFadden 9th, and 10th for Ross McFarlane. Marco Mogren 11th, Pete Harrod is in 12th, and then it's Christian Rose in 13th, Michael Davis in 14th. He's the leading BMW. Dion Phillips is in 15th in the Ferrari ahead of Miguel Freitas. Then it's Andy Shield, Stephen Baxter in 18th, Ben Gregory 19th. Then it's Johnny Brandon in 20th. And interesting to note, just 1 second covers the top 20 or so drivers, and then another 1 second covers about the next 20. As we head on to the second half of the grid order, Matt Bunn. Bart Dowman 21st, and then Matt Bunn 22nd, Christian Tanahato in 23rd, Michael Hall 24th, Mark Woodhouse 25th, then it's Stephen Dawson 26th, Mike Johnston in 27th, and Nathaniel Simpson is 28th, and then it's James King with Daniel McCauley 30th, Jake Blackhall 31st, and 32nd for the Dutchman, Jeroen Kaiser. Charles Drake off the Thrust Factory is in 33rd, ahead of Dan Lenson 34th. David White, 35th. Then it's Jason Rowe, Nick Sturmans, Stephen Burke, Paul Smith is 39th, and Scott Malcolm is 40th. Andrew Whitehead from Boosted Motorsport is in 41st. Michael Blake, 42nd. Matthew Keebus, 43rd. And it's Tom Jacobs. Magic Stakovic is 45th. Then it's Lee Woodburn, Phil Bedford, Stuart Atkinson, Robert Lundgren. Dave Crozier is 50th. He'll enjoy that view from the back, no doubt. And then it's Craig Williams, 51st. 52nd, Chris White. 53rd, John Roberts. And Josh Rayfield. He's not even going to be able to see the start line, I don't think.
Do you know what? Can I just ask everyone to wish us luck? Wish us luck trying to cover this tonight. So many cars out there. I'm going to apologise now for those that we don't cover.
Two of us, so, you know, I mean, I've got 4 eyes anyway, I might need more.
Oh dear, I'm going to need 6 pairs of hands.
So we'll see what while Alex goes to find some extra limbs, we're going to come to the last chicane, and this is going to be the main overtaking point on the course, I think, mate, as well.
Yeah, pretty sure. It's always a favourite, isn't it, of everyone to get the move done into that chicane. Right, where's Fraser? There he is. Here we go then.
And it's the Team Bush Street Racing car who goes now as the green flag flies. And already a challenge for second between Sutton and Janssen. Sutton squeezing against Janssen here. Mercedes versus Audi into the first corner. Sutton not leaving a lot of space, but manages to keep P2. That looks good for him. CQR car there into second place. Janssen third. Chris Wood is in fourth with Team Mad, and then it's just Thompson. Radicals online with the Mercedes car. Under him, then it's Nico Foggy, reigning champion, and then David Baker, who's always thereabouts, is in second place at the moment. Oh, Ferrari off! It's McFadden. He's in the gravel and he's hit the wall.
A few others collected in that as well. See them recovering.
Tricky part of the course there, it's bumpy and there's surface changes as well, you need to be careful of.
So many cars out there. Just look at them flowing onto that back straight. Keep on coming.
I may not see a lot of this action, I won't confess to you right away, but
oh, there's right at the back of the pack as well, a couple of cars just involved in something. I'm not sure who that was. Pretty hard to pick anyone out at the minute. Oh, and Sutton's around in the chicane, the final chicane. He's going to have to try and get back on the circuit. He's going to lose an absolute boatload of places right now. The last thing you want to do is on the opening lap.
So it was the Audi of Janssen up the inside, Alex, and then a tiny bit of contact between them. I think Ash didn't give maybe the room that was needed.
See if we can get a replay.
It's a tough one to judge, mate, but the Audi was there. He had the right of way, and Sutton's crashed again. Coming out of turn 1. He's in real trouble, Ash Sutton. He needs to get back to the pits and take his fast tow, I think.
That's those hot tyres, I'm guessing. We'll stick with this just to watch the spin. Sorry, Ash. Don't mean to show everything that's going on. Don't show it to the touring car sponsors, they'll never know. This is what Subaru got. Yeah, that's what Subaru got. Look forward to next year. Oh no!
Whoops. Never mind. So Fraser Williamson.
Oh, look at that.
He's 1.5 seconds clear. He's making good use of that Team Bush Street Racing Audi. This is a track, Alex, that maybe 6 months or so ago would have been absolute hell for the Audi drivers, but looking like they're making it work at the moment.
Yeah, the Audi much more planted now than it was. Oh, let's get the standing showing correctly as well.
Third place is really hotting up as well. Josh Thompson, Nico Foggy, third and fourth place. Radicals Online and Northern Lights Racing. Foggy, of course, won the title. Oh,
mistake there from Nicole as well. Just about collected it up. No sideways issues there, but he did lose about 0.6 of a second, so quite a major one.
Marvel's absolutely raining down the S's section. Christian Rose has made a good start. Dave Baker's dropped down the order, actually. Was in 5th place. He's now behind the BMW of Michael Davis. I'm not exactly sure of the position. I think it's 9th or 10th, something like that. Is that right?
just having a look. Michael David 8th place at the moment. There we go.
So Baker in 9th then. Yeah, of course they both again the place with Sutton dropping down. Neil Freitas is in the mix as well. He's in 13th place. You see him, the Portuguese driver, the outstanders.
Sorry,
McFadden's recovered somehow. Alex McFadden has only lost about a handful of places there.
Yeah, not too bad for Stuart. I do love the Kaspersky car that he's in as well. I was going to say Baker is in the.
On the opening lap, though, was it?
No, it's not been very secure all over, has it? What was the? Well, I won't go into that. They'll be lynching me. I can't say that. I'm a public broadcast.
Not much we can say. Yeah, Matt Bunn is going through then. He's still ahead of Michael Holt. Severe damage to the front right corner. I wonder if he's well, he must have had a hit, surely, but Mercedes looking a bit second hand, as does the BMW of Ben Gregory. Now Gregory's cars don't always look pristine, I must say.
Oh, who's that? Who's did?
Baxter in the middle of this track and there's chaos in the back straight.
Who else got involved in that? Someone else. I think it might be. Is it Gregory in the BMW?
What's happened to Baxter? Baxter loses the car, Alex. He comes out of the S's. He hits that curve, which unsettles people all over the place.
Oh, it was wide going in, very, very wide, and then it just caught the gravel and it just shoved him into the outside tyre wall, and everybody scrambles to try and avoid him. Can't do it. It's Gregory that takes the next sort of worst hit. There's a couple others that just get some damage as well, but yeah, Baxter, well, he is done.
Johnny Brandon's out as well. We didn't see exactly what happened to him. Andy Shields in the pits, Bart Nauman's in the pits, Jake Blackhall, Dion Phillips, Pete Newman. Pete Newman's gone a lap down actually. He's not out of the race, but one lap down for him. He'll be needing to stay on that. One lap down in order to get points, of course. Williamson's lead is coming down now. It was 1.5 seconds, now 1.2. So Janssen on the prowl, and little errors like that might just give Janssen a bit of encouragement. Not that he needs any more confidence.
Sun's around again, I'm afraid. Well, he's carrying a lot of damage at this point as well.
I'm surprised he hasn't pitted for the fast repair, you know.
This is going to be into turn one again. Dies to the inside, gets a little bit squirrely on the brakes on the Team Mad car there. Into the wall.
Carrying the wall. It's Paul Smith. Paul Smith in the BMW into the tyre wall, and I feel he's done exactly what Baxter did. Carbon copy, absolute carbon copy onto the gravel, Alex, and then
just grabs you, doesn't it?
People,
yeah, it just pulls you towards to the right there.
You have to correct the slide that it gives you. You know, you can only do that by. And then it eventually grips and then hits you in the hits the wall on the outside. No, it wasn't a good qualifying for Smith. I think it was about 39th. So yeah, not the best meeting so far for him.
That was a
track that suited the Beamer
through the first sector, absolutely. And of course, it's not as slow as it used to be down the straight now. So Jensen. Absolutely ballistic through the S's this time. That gap just visually came down, and 0.3 of a second separates Fraser Williams and Carl Janssen now in those Audi machines.
And we've seen Janssen go the inside into the chicane. He did that on Ash Sutton. He's not afraid of a move here, and he's gone in very hot as Williamson. It's going to better exit. It's worth going on board, Alex. Takes to a lap.
Yeah, let's do that. See how quickly I can get up.
So good. Before then, you know.
Yeah, so let's go on board with Janssen as we head in towards turn one. Really open up this corner. Use the fact that the car compresses down through that to get on the power a little bit early. Blind corner here. You can see Williamson struggling. Didn't quite get the apex right. So difficult. Then you kind of just threading the car through a neat little hole through the S's. Fortunately, the GT3's not too bad over the curbs, and we can sort of use them. Some of the single-seaters, it's like a death trap. Coming out into this higher speed section of the circuit now. Lots of camber on this right-hand corner. You can throw it in. Car kind of sticks. This tight right-hander that leads onto the back straight. One of the hardest corners on all of iRacing. So easy to overdrive that and try and take too much speed. Got to get good exit speed because you're absolutely vulnerable if you just get that corner wrong. Huge, huge, long straight. Of course, you can get a Shelby if you watch. I mentioned it before, up to 200 mile an hour, or 224, was it, or something stupid? I think not. But through the chicane, and yeah, well, that's a lap. We come through to the final corner. Again, it's a bit terrifying if you don't quite have enough downforce. The car wants to run out wide and into that grass, but yeah, good lap from both drivers.
Very tricky corner, that final one. Turn 12.
Need for Speed, that was the film I was looking for.
There you go. I knew what you meant. I didn't think of it. And yeah, Williamson, he's feeling that pressure now. You can see it in his driving. He's just overshooting a couple of the apexes, and like I said, giving Janssen some hope with it. It's still going to take a big. Oh! And he goes a bit wide again. He almost had the same fate as Paul Smith and Stephen Baxter.
I think Jesse Pinkman's got more chance of getting his little crappy car from Breaking Bad up to 200 mile an hour down there, personally.
It's a long straight as Josh Thompson, by the way, he's in 2.7 seconds behind the script. He's just overtaken Michael Hall, who's had to come in for repairs. 24th on the grid, he was his 43rd now, and we're not about Hall.
Yeah, two Mercs starting to battle it out between Thompson and Foggy. Very Foggy, after making that mistake earlier on, it's closed back in now on the Radicals driver. And yeah, wants to have another shot, trying to get this podium position away. Of course, reigning champion.
Took him 7 laps to catch up on Thompson. After that mistake, Thompson defends the middle of the road. Foggy's trying the outside line. It can be done in turn 1 here if you have the grip mid-corner, which he just about did. And Thompson staves him off for another lap, or at least another few corners. Good battle going on for 5th place as well, and it's Marco Mogren in car 30, the Radicals Mercedes, and then it's Christian Rose Ferrari, the Racehub Ferrari, and then it's and then actually David Baker's in the baton. It's the next car along. Actually, he's in P7, also for Racehub. Then it's Ross McFarlane, Northern Lights Racing, and then it's Michael Davies in the BMW. He drives for. You know what? I don't actually know. I don't think he was at the previous race.
Who was this? Sorry,
Davies.
Yeah, I haven't got a team name for him either. So yeah, I can't tell you. And I think it's Bushfink. I think no, maybe not. Just looking at the livery.
No, does he have okay, I couldn't see that, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it must be. It must be. Hopefully, one of his team is on the chat and can confirm that. He's got the same livery as Williamson as well, just on the BMW instead.
That's fair enough. I couldn't see him on there. I've got the spotter's guide in front of me. I couldn't see him. On there, I'm afraid. Might be just a reserve drive. Yeah, doing a good job, Davis. Anyway, in the top 10. Tough field to get there. Oh, crash! It's a Radicals car. It's Tanahato. And he's been hit by McFadden, so McFadden's race gets better. Tanahato there. I don't know if he lost it, or whether he was helped out. And turn 1.
Just gonna watch, see exactly what happened. I think he must have made a mistake somewhere because McFadden's miles behind him going into turn 1. Oh yeah, he just got the line all wrong, didn't he? He's going to rejoin the circuit. Oh, twitching. It's all on his own. And yeah, like you say, McFadden chose the wrong way to go.
He got high-centered on the curb, which meant that there was nowhere to go but the grass runoff area. Janssen is right with Williamson, 1/10 of a second. Just over 6, just under 7 minutes to go. This battle's very, very close. But again, unless Fraser makes a mistake, I don't think there's a way through for Calvin, just simply because they are evenly matched. It seems like these two are good at different parts of the track. It seems like the S's was good for Janssen, but it's flashing the lights at him now, mate. He's getting impatient.
That's it. I love the people who flash lights. I have it turned off, so I can't even see it. It's brilliant. They're flashing at you.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, I think if you have your graphics set low enough, some stuff turned off, you can't even see it. It's excellent. It's like, what? You flash all you want.
Intimidation necessary. Here's so here is Janssen then.
Got a good run here, surely. Williamson having to defend the inside. Is he going to try and go around the outside? It's not easy. No, can't get it. Late on the brakes for Fraser, and actually nails the apex on the way out too. Still under a lot of pressure though.
Fraser was perfect on the brakes there. Damage to the left-hand side. I wonder where that's picked. I wonder if these two have made slight contact.
I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything. Backmarker moves out of the way of Thompson and Foggy behind there, only 0.4 of a second apart. So they come across the line as well.
Plus it's phantom damage. Oh yeah, it is, because it's just fixed itself.
There we go. Another good battle that's on the track, just so we don't get too completely focused. McFarlane, Davis and Harrod, they're all pretty close. What else have we got going on? Draycott in 16th, Woodhouse 17th, and McFadden in the battered Ferrari now as well. And so going for a move, Simpson, yeah.
Car 4, Nate Simpson. The Simmortal car up the inside of 83, that's Woodhouse. He's going to get that one done, that's nicely played by Nathaniel Simpson. Good move there. The Mercedes is still a very good car, Alex, there's no doubt about it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They did, I think some of the Mercs featured relatively well in the Blancpain series, so not quite as well as the Audis, but...
Yeah, but there'll be circuits where the Merc's better than the Audi.
Well, I think it's getting another BOP change, where I think it's a reduced weight or something like that. I'm not 100% sure when the build happens, so that will be a little bit quicker. So people are gambling, hoping that will just give it, you know, a little bit of an edge, perhaps. So not entirely sure exactly the quantities of the weight or whatever, but it's definitely getting another tweak, and it's the only car that's getting one, I've heard.
Strange.
It's probably rubbish.
needs to be equal. That's the point. But
well, they are trying, I think, you know. But you know, again, we've had this conversation on this channel many a times. How the BOP seems to go around.
yeah, we can have that conversation until we're blue in the face. You know, it'll be the BMW that's the quickest car at some point as well.
You got it. So it's been a while now, hasn't it? Some of the new people will have the BMW.
Not so long back. Am I right that the BMW won the World Championship while the Audi was out?
Yes, it did.
Really very good.
Yeah, it did. Well, to be fair, the Audi was very good that season when they won it. The thing with the BMW, it was the best on its tyres, so strategically you could make it work. That was actually quite a good season, I feel like, 'cause the Audi was the better car for raw pace. The BMW had it with, you know, on strategy, which, you know, that's fine. Let it play out like that, you know.
I know. I think that's a good way of looking at it, because we need races like that too, you know.
Chat on the YouTube. So it's gonna be the Ford. 2019. Yeah, the Ford.
Dennis will be happy about that. Where is it?
Yeah, just get some sales up in the Ford.
Very happy about that.
This is so close at the front, but also Baker and McFarlane. Look at this.
Slight mistake now. Don't leave out of it side by side. Sorry.
Oh.
It's a slight mistake by Williamson. It's going to give Janssen a sniff at least into the double right hand there. And Williamson
ran the outside.
Was pretty gentlemanly there, I have to say. It's cost him the lead, but can he get it back?
Well, maybe he's counting that he's going to be able to slipstream straight back past. He's going to have to make it count right now.
Yeah, this is his chance. That he might only get one. Might only get one chance, Fraser Williamson. Good late braking. Look at that for a move. He's fully alongside into the second part.
Oh!
Janssen tries to squeeze him, and he paid for it, I think.
Is Thompson going to get through? This is going to be close on his teammate.
Fully alongside was Williamson.
Yeah, I think you're right. Let's see if we can get a better angle at this. Bit of a closer one.
I think Janssen tried to cut it very fine. And, you know, that's what happens when you try and pinch the opponent. Let's have a look at it again. I'm not sure he gave... I mean, Williamson's on the curb. I don't see where it's going.
That is a racing incident through and through there. Yeah, there's nowhere else really I think either driver could go.
Oh, crash! It's foggy. He's in the wall. Foggy, big crash. The engine's blown.
Engine's blown.
The engine's gone for Nico Foggy, and so is his race. Huge crash for the reigning champion. Now from Christian Rhodes up to 4th, Dave Baker up into the top 5. And it's benefited his teammate Ross McFarlane, but that's not the way McFarlane would want to get in place. Williamson, just 30 seconds to go, we're going to get one more lap out of this. And I think he did the right thing. To be honest, he braked very late to the corner, took a wide line, gave the space on the inside, got his car fully alongside Janssen. And yeah, there was a tiny bit of net code, wasn't there? A little bit of net code, but he was ambitious to try and keep the outside line that tight. I think you know, it's always risking it, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you know, Fraser just the lap before, didn't he? Also was able to, even earlier on that in that lap, just to give enough room on the outside, didn't run him out too far. So
it's a game of inches. You know, people don't think motor racing is a game of inches, but it definitely is. And that time, the dice rolled in favour of Fraser Williamson.
Oh, this is getting a little bit hectic further back as Davies having a little look on Ross McFarlane. Again, he's got great exit speed coming out of the fast sort of, you know, first couple of sectors. Oh, that is close as well. McFarlane on Mogren.
Final chicane, final corner for Williamson, Alex. He's going to come across and win from pole position. The first round of the evening goes to Team Bush Street Racing. It goes to Fraser Williamson. Janssen coming over in second place. Josh Thompson in third. He's going to take that battle. Rose in 4th, Baker 5th, but it's going to be close. The BMW is through. Michael Davies is through.
And took no better time to do it than on the final corner.
Mogren moved.
This is close.
Pete Harrod in the McLaren was nearly.
Oh, no. Oh, that's black marker. Sorry, no, I thought that was a lot closer than it was.
So they even allowed the McLaren to get close in the end. Not many McLarens in the field, in fact.
Phil Bedford on Dan McCauley. McCauley just moves over, just point blank blocks him there. They make contact going into the chicane. Oh, they're still knocking. They're knocking socks off. Two bells off each other at the minute, aren't they? So.
Oh. Yeah, into the chicane. They're not going to be active. McCauley's got a lot of damage. He's going to make it across. Bedford's car's seen better days as well. Surprised me if there are a bit of afters after that one. But yeah, that was a good race. That was very competitive.
Looking forward to the next one already.
And there's a car over on the main straight. That looks like Baxter again. Not having the best of times out there. And let's go through the finishing order then. I'll get my oxygen tank ready. Fraser Williamson wins the race by 4.2 seconds in the end. That does not tell the story. It was a very close battle with Carl Janssen. Bit of contact at the final chicane. It decided the race in the end. Josh Thompson in third, and then Christian Rose 4th for Ferrari and for Racehub. Performance by him. 9 positions gained, in fact, for him. David Baker in 5th, Ross McFarlane 6th, Michael Davies in 7th. And then Marco Mogren, he was in 6th, but then he's down to 8th on the final lap. Pete Harrod in 9th is the highest McLaren. Then Miguel Freitas in 10th. James King 11th. Stephen Dawson then in 12th. Matt Bunn in 13th, 14th for Stuart McFadden. Had an absolute nightmare and still finished 14th. That shows the skill of the driver and how good the Ferrari is. Nathaniel Simpson in 15th, 16th for Steve Burke. 22 spots gained for Burke. David White in 17th. 18th was Michael Blake. He gained 24 places in the Simmortal car. Ash Sutton in 19th. 20th for Nick Shermans. Andrew Whitehead 21st. Chris Wood 22nd. Ron Kaiser in 23rd. Dan McCauley was in P24. And then Phil Bedford was 25th. 26th for Chris White. 27th was Scott Malcolm. Dave Crozier starting 50th and finishing 28th place. Jason Rowe in 29th. 30th for Dan Lenson. That's the second McLaren in the field. Matt Keeber 31st, Ben Gregory 32nd. He's the last car on the lead lap. Cars one lap down then. Robert Lundgren 33rd, then Foggy, then Hall, then Atkinson, Smith, Sakovic, Newman, Phillips, Draycott, Dowman, Woodhouse, Baxter and Jacobs. They were all one lap down, so they will be eligible for the reverse grid. And then retirements, Craig Williams, Christian Tanahato, Lee Woodburn, Jake Blackall, Andy Shield, Mark Johnston, Johnny Brandon, John Roberts, and Josh Rayfield, Alex.
Yep, quite a few there, but kind of expected that round here.
I think Roberts and Rayfield, I don't even think they took the start, in fact, man.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's get the wheel up. Let's give it a spin. We'll work out the grid for the next race. We've got a few adverts, some of the new cars to come in.
So 52 started, 45 finished. If we have a full, it will be Tom Jacobs that gets reversed onto pole position. I'm kind of hoping for 45 cars to be reversed, to be honest.
It's not going to be that high, unfortunately, because I think we need to update our will. Apologies to the administrators. I'll have to get that on the to-do list. So the highest we're looking at here is like 34th. It's the highest we've got. I don't think I have another one with full.
Is there no full on there?
I don't think I have another one with full. I don't know if I've lost something on when I've transferred over PCs, but I'm going to give it a spin anyway. Apologies.
Let's see what it's going to be. Who's going to be the victim?
It's going to be a short one anyway, so it's not going to matter too much. Oh, 18th. Very tiny.
18th. Michael Blake. Well, those 24 places that he gained, that shows how valuable they were. So he'll be going on to pole position. David White will be second. Stephen Burke third. Nathaniel Simpson will be fourth. And Stuart McFadden will be fifth. So he'll be hoping for a much better race too when we return here on Apex Racing TV to the World GT Championship.
Before we head, sorry Woody, can I just do a little bit of plug-in? Is that
all right? Go on, you might as well.
Well, obviously we've got a few new adverts coming up. Obviously, them featuring the LMP1. I don't know if anybody's seen on our Facebook page, but I'm running a LMP1 Academy course. I brought the Academy back for next season, season 2. So, if anyone's interested in the running the LMP1s, I'm going to be running an Academy course like I used to do in the Formula Renault and the McLaren. So with the track guides and the setups, we're on to VRS. So you grab all your data straight from there. We just invite you to the VRS team and new Discord group and whatnot. So I'm gonna whack a link in the chat because I can. Why not?
Hey, look, I don't oppose the cheap plug. Not at all. Apex Racing Academy then is going to be back, and very happy to see it back. Of course, has produced many World Championship drivers, both in the Formula 1 and the Blancpain GT itself, Alex, and very, very good program it was before, and I'm sure if we get the same numbers that we got last time, then there'll be some very, very talented drivers coming through, I'm sure.
Was capped at 30 this time because it got a bit crazy with the amount of people, so 30 people max. I think a third of the spots have gone already, so and it went up yesterday, so if you want to get in, let me know. First come, first serve on that bit. So, thanks right here. Have some new awesome adverts from iRacing rather than our archaic ones that we used to throw out there.
Just a quick one as well. So the new build will be should be tomorrow evening as usual, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Hopefully that will be up and running in quick time. Right, we'll be back for the next race then after the break, and enjoy the adverts for the Audi, the Porsche, and I assume the IndyCar too.
That's it.
Back soon. Road Up Banter and Apex Racing TV, of course. The World GT Championship with Racehub and Simmortal. Andrew Woodhouse alongside our Racing World Championship driver, Alex Simpson. Feels good to be able to say that about you again there, mate. And, well, I know you like this track, don't you? And it's one that I think it's a bit of a grower, isn't it? When you first drive it, you sort of go, oh, bloody hell, what's this? And then you do a few laps, do a few races, and you kind of get into it.
Yeah, honestly, of the road, Road Atlanta, Road America circuits on iRacing, when I first drove this, I was like, never again, kill me now. You know, I hate my life while I was driving this the first time. It's kind of that bad. But then you do, you get forced to race it in whichever series it is that you're doing for a week or so. And actually, it's a nice track.
It's fun.
It is fun. It is a really good circuit. When you start to learn
it,
like all
it's
this,
fun. Sorry.
Exactly. Yeah, and you've got a good handling car that doesn't mind the curve and stuff like that. Yeah, it's pretty decent.
It really isn't fun if you're in a crap car or whatever reason you don't have the balance right for that week. But it does. It is nice, and you get good racing here. We've had it in the. I've raced here in the Kias before, and racing's good. And I think. We saw that in race. So I think these GT3s are quite high powered, quite good on the brakes, so it's a little bit harder maybe to get through than in some cars that we're seeing. But
yeah, I know I spoke about this before, but when it's not fun, when George Leroy T-bones you in the World Cup,
well,
at the top of
just racing with him is not fun anyway. I don't mean to slag anyone off on the broadcast, but he's terrible. Never mind. Anyway. So, to be fair, I can't talk, can I, really? Jeez. Can't talk about driving, can I? You can, I can't. You just spend your time crashing into Adam most of the time, I think.
That's true.
Michael Blake on pole position, digress. David White in second place in the CQR. He's in the Mercedes this season. Was in the Audi last season. I wonder if he's regretting that choice right about now. I don't know. Stephen Burke's in third, Nate Simpson's in fourth, Stuart McFadden in fifth, Matt Bunn in sixth, Stephen Dawson seventh, James King eighth, Miguel Freitas ninth, Pete Harrod in 10th. Then it's Mogren, Davies, McFarlane, Baker, Rose, Thompson, Janssen, Williamson, Shermans, and Whitehead. That's the top 20. Williamson, of course, the winner of race 1 in 18th place. Because it was such a small reverse grid, Alex, do we expect anything really different to happen than in the normal reverse grid races that we get?
No, not really. Obviously there are some quick guys coming through from the back that had accidents, so they're going to fight through. But for the most part, no, it's going to be fairly similar. That sort of top 15, obviously might get a little scrappy because they are reversed. Or top 18, sorry.
They have similar pace as well.
Yeah, exactly, which tends to make it a little bit cleaner. I think when we see the scrappy races, it's when we have the huge reverse grids and you've got people that are second and a half to 2 seconds a lap faster trying to get through really quickly and misjudging the people's braking distances and apex speeds in front of them. That's always the issue with like the reverse grid series that are out there. All of them we cover, so it's the fast meet the slow. Right, here we go.
Here we go. Cars meet the checkered flag. The checkered flag. The green flag.
And we're done.
That one. That's the right one. Blake takes the lead. Then Burke in second. And then McFadden already trying to make his way through. And he's already trying to get past car 17. He has done. That's David White having to get out of the way. And he might get Nate Simpson as well. 2-1 into 2. Oh, McFadden's been hit slightly by the Mercedes. And that meant that he couldn't completely overtake him. Cones flying everywhere. Drivers scrambling for the grip. Going too wide through the SE section. Marco Mogren, I think that was making maybe a tiny bit of contact with Miguel Freitas. It wasn't a lot, enough to unsettle the Mercedes and allow Pete Harrod in the McLaren to attack. Harrod displayed amazing car control in season 2. Alex, remember the Phillip Island one especially.
Oh, that epic, wasn't it? Absolutely.
And he's not quite a Lone Ranger from the McLaren. Dan Lenson is also driving the Woking-based car. But he's sort of fighting a bit of a lonely battle for his constructor in this championship.
side by side going on. Oh, Thompson literally pushing Baker down the hill, trying to find a way past. Just goes to show how quick that Ferrari is, even with that kind of slipstream, not able to get by Williamson and Janssen side by side. They're at it again, literally as they were, and I think Williamson's got himself past. Has a big twitch, mind you.
This should be really good then. And look who else is in the mix as well. That's Christian Rose in the top 5 of the championship. Rose, he's trying to get involved as well, as is the Audi Chris Wood.
Chris is as well.
Race winner last season, and just get last season stats up, because I think he got a few wins.
I was going to say, he's won a race this season.
Well, exactly. Well, he goes wide there though. Oh, and he gets a bit of the gravel as well. The Audi would have been killed a couple of seasons ago, I think, doing that, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, who was that just getting nerfed out? Stephen Dawson in the BMW just got nerfed wide by James King. James up the inside of the corner that leads up to the back straight. Oh, the 3 wide behind.
King's taking no prisoners in this series. I saw some of the driving he was doing a week or two before. And yeah, getting very feisty out there, it has to be said, the TBR man. And contact, tiny bit of contact, Freitas and Mogren again. Freitas trying to keep the Mercedes behind, and then the McLaren, and then it's the BMW. And up the inside goes, there's a CQR Mercedes that's made a move there.
Oh, I'm on board with Harrod. And he's around. Not sure who it was who hit him.
Oh, he got hit by. Oh, it's the Northern Lights racing car. Absolutely flying in the corner. Yeah. Harrod off, and he's got. I think he's got damage. I think he's got serious damage. You know.
Found him right on the tail of Michael Blake. Now you have to feel the straight line speed of the Ferrari coming onto this long back straight. It's got opportunity to wind up just like it does at Le Mans. It's going to get this slipstream and get by this Mercedes.
The Mercedes has good traction out the corners, so Alex, which gives it a good head start. Going to be a chance here for McFadden to take the lead. He's late on the brakes, the Scotsman. Has he made it? Yes, he has.
Yeah, Blake actually doesn't fight it too much. Perhaps feels like at this point in time, just trying not to lose too much time is going to be more beneficial to his final result position.
Sensible idea, I think, from Blake.
Look at them scrapping further back on that shot.
Crazy. And it's the people who were at the front of the previous race as well, isn't it? It's Mogren. Mogren finally gets by Freitas. Here comes the BMW of Davies. He's looking as well on the Portuguese. From the inside into 2. Gets it done late. Late run into the corner, that's good from Davies. And here comes, now then, it's all getting a bit chaotic in there. Josh Thompson's got past David White as well. That's for, God knows what position that is, I don't know. They've changed, Thompson started the lap in 12th, White started the lap in 7th, and Thompson got through on it.
Well, 9th and 11th they are now. Oh, and that's Dawson involved. Dawson and
White.
Oh, and there's some repercussion off of that, and they literally got a car parked on the apex. I don't know who that is. He's having to literally reverse it. It was Baker. We don't very often see Baker involved in things, but savvy enough driving to get himself out of the apex and avoid anything else. He recovers, but he's down in 31st now.
Not ashamed to say, David Baker is a good guy. He's a great driver, and I think he's one of those who, he knows the way of these long series, and we've spoken about this before. He's not always likely to beat you in a one-off race, but he will beat you over the course of the season, and we've seen that before.
Definitely a fan favourite, isn't he, Baker?
Oh, yeah. Steve Berg, there was someone on the chat as well saying hashtag Baker for champion or something like hashtag blessed.
Oh, you did see that.
Hi Lewis, thanks for joining us on Apex Racing TV. But not even close.
Oh no!
I know, off goes, that's Thompson, isn't it?
No, it's Mogren.
No, it's Mogren. No, of course it's Mogren, because he always gets the bad look.
Just saw them coming together, and yeah.
got to point out Steve Burke going well in the Ferrari. He's got a cone stuck under his car.
Foggy trying to make his way back up after his late DNF as well.
Yeah, where's he sat? About the 20s, isn't he? He's battling with Phil Bedford's Mercedes. And then just behind them is Stephen Dawson, who you said he got nerfed outside the circuit, almost.
Yeah, and that's twice he's been nerfed, I think, in this race.
Off the track, I meant, outside the circuit. He didn't actually get picked out of the circuit.
What was that? Was it a Sebring where someone ended up going out of the circuit?
Yeah, brake failure. Ended up going crashing through the gates like something on Dukes of Hazzard or something.
It's the old horn going. Where's my sound effects mixer when we're going to need one?
Again, we're just not prepared, I'm afraid. That's Foggy going past Nick Sherman's. Bedford might have a go as well. Oh, he cuts off Dawson.
King is close to Burke here as well. Davis behind. Teammates, of course. Different cars though, so I'm sure there's no love lost. So as Davis goes flying straight through as well. I tell you what,
wow,
he carries an awful lot of speed coming out of there, and Davis having to go, King having to go defensive on Thompson now. He's getting a good exit out of here. And slipstream his teammate in that BMW. Hold up Thompson.
You see the speed he carried into the corner, Davis. It was amazing the amount of grip that BMW had there. It stuck for him though. Oh, up the inside goes the Audi now. The Mercedes now, sorry, on the Audi. It's Thompson, and it wasn't going to work. He carried too much speed. He was always going to make contact with the Audi there.
It's like touche, wasn't it? That was there. Exactly. That's exactly what we saw last time between the same two teams but different drivers to the last race. And now Janssen having a look up the inside.
I feel like this could be the battle for the whole season, Alex.
Yeah, I feel so. Radicals. And Janssen's making his way through the field a lot quicker. He managed to get back past Williamson. We didn't see that. But there's Fraser. He's got Thompson next up for him. And then hopefully his teammate will try and stifle Thompson here a little bit.
There are already lapped cars in the fray as well. So the guy's going to have to look out for that. Stuart McFadden leads the way. But he's got some collision at the right-hander leading onto the straight. It's Davies and it's a thrust vector car. Burke. And that was one of those where they tried to get out of each other's way.
Steve got beached as well. Let's have a look. No, he got going. I thought for a minute he got beached. They were side by side. I tell you, Davies carries so much speed out that final corner, trying to swing it around the outside there. He holds it and then tries to squeeze it off. I have to say, he tries to close the apex down just a little bit there on Burke. He needed to leave a little bit more room. He hadn't managed to get the overtake done. Come together. Stephen was still there. He's entitled to be there.
He's now got Foggy. Probably as Davis.
Williamson.
Position.
What's just happened here? All of a sudden, Fraser is past, was past Thompson and Janssen. Janssen dropped back behind Thompson now, so something's gone on.
They're not shy in retiring, Thompson and Janssen, are they? Really? So it wouldn't surprise me if they tried to overtake each other and failed.
Nate Simpson closing in on the back of Michael Blake as well. So Blake still having a good run out there, of course, on the pole position, led it away. We spoke earlier on about him not trying to lose too much time fighting these people. Paying off right now. He's still in a podium position and they're busy squabbling behind again. Keep on doing that. They're not going to get to these guys.
He certainly vindicated that decision from Blake. And also Simpson's Blake's teammate. So I would almost say that if Simpson is running quicker, we see the lap times overall, and let's just see.
Last time it wasn't. Let's have a look.
He's been on average about 0.3 of a second at a lap quicker, Simpson, over the race. So I'd maybe say, I'd maybe say for Blake, maybe let your teammate go, and then you hold that, you let him drag you along. And you
Yeah,
stay ahead of
makes sense. They got 2.8 seconds to Carl. That the Beamer is actually
that's one lap for him, isn't it?
Yeah, the Beamer in between is a back marker, so he's getting held up a little bit. So that will help him just a bit. But you're right. They need this out of the way. They do need to think about it tactically. If Nate can just pull Michael on, even if it's a couple of tenths, might be able to keep Michael in fourth by the end of this race. Only 8 minutes to go. It's not very long around here. We're doing what we're doing. Oh, 1 minute 20 laps actually. So it's quite a few laps to go.
Are you ready for a controversial opinion?
Go on.
I feel that Janssen, his worst enemy might be himself in this. Because he's very, very fast. He's arguably the fastest driver out there in the field. There's Williamson trying to go through on Thompson. Thompson very, very little praise.
Freighter's having a little look on Williamson now as well.
I feel that Janssen's racecraft is of an aggressive nature that I feel if he just toned it down a fraction, I think he'll be unstoppable in this series.
Yeah, I mean he's making headway. I'm trying to think what happened on the first week. Of course, unfortunately, due to me not being able to see.
First week he was very good.
Last week I couldn't. Yeah, I don't really know what happened last week, but yeah, didn't he have one race where it just all went a little bit peaked on for him?
I didn't see a lot of it last week. I must admit, I saw the first race.
Well, I'm just thinking of the first week because obviously I didn't catch the second one at all.
Well, let's have a little look.
What was his results in the first week? Because, like you say, it reminds me somewhat of Rasmussen. You know, in the touring car series, super fast. You know, always at the front, slides through the traffic, but then gets too many DNS or some nerf. You know.
Race one he was 10th. Race 2 he won. Race 3 he was 6th. So he was good last week. But I just feel like if I can just, one thing I've got a good eye for is kind of trouble on back, and I feel like Janssen is very good, but I feel like he's got. He might just be, if he just brings himself 1% down, I think potentially he could be. I mean, he is very, very good already. It could be great, and we've seen the aggressive overtaking nature and things. We've seen it work in the past, but he only works in fits and starts. And I feel like he. Do you see what? Do you know what I'm getting at? Where he's very kind of he works the margins, doesn't he? The small margins, and that's kind of why he came off worse in the contact with Williamson in race 1. Was a couple more inches. Half a foot difference. He doesn't lose those 3 or 4 seconds that he lost by getting it off the track. It's not just him as well. I think there's a lot of other drivers in this series that are similar, but I think he's the most noticeable one because he is very, very quick.
We'll see how it all pans out for him. So
that is a very, very. Does your rear end hurt from the fence that you sat on?
Yeah. Well, it's just. Well, as has been mentioned in the chat, he's still leading, isn't he? So.
No, he's doing very well. He's doing very, very well, but it's not. It's just. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. I'm not being harsh on him.
We'll see. We'll see if your point's validated. If it bites him, if he has too many crashes, and then you can sit with your and go, "See, told you." But yeah, I'm firmly on the post with a sore ass.
Hey,
as he moves himself up to third, by the way.
I do. Look, I wish him all the best. I do. It's just an observation, really. And he's gone through on Simpson there. It was a good move. And following him through is Thompson. And now they're getting past Blake as well, Alex. So those two, they were quite far in front, but not quite far enough. When you're dealing with drivers of this calibre. And they were just, 1 second a lap they were bringing back, It's hard to deal with. But especially when you're being chased down, all that pressure that it adds to you.
Yeah, I'll take it back as well.
Oh, what a move by Thompson.
looking at the results as well, this is something I just wanted to look at the data as well. It wasn't the first week as well, so it must have been a different race where we saw that, maybe the media day or something like that.
Media day by all accounts was crazy.
All three races were good in the first week as well, so yeah. As long as you don't make the mistakes, you can be aggressive, but you just need to be aggressive enough to not get caught up in something. You know,
that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
That's all I'm getting at. There's nothing wrong with being able to take this.
So far, so good.
yeah, very much. He's got the car that'll allow him to do it. So he's got
Williamson got great drive on Nate coming out of the S's there. He's going to be through, I think, before they even reach the braking point, and indeed he is.
Through before the double right-hander then. Is Williamson. Driving very, very well. He seems to really like this Audi. It's something like Sonic Chris. 21st on the grid, 8th now. All over Michael Blake, and I think it's going to be 7th for Wood if he isn't too far behind before the braking zone. I think he's going to try it the inside. Blake gives him the space. Wood gets a good exit. He needs to be careful not to get caught on the outside. Oh, Blake's disappeared. Oh, look at the run of the Audi now, Alex. Look at that.
Yeah, Wood should get this inside, take a bit more speed in. It does. Blake trying to, I thought for a minute he was going to try and cut back, but he's just trying to actually stay clean, stay out of trouble. He's trying to hold on to this top 10. He's got 2 minutes to go, so this is going to be 2 laps or so.
I will say though, Alex, you know, as an Audi fan, you know, a fan of Audi cars. Oh, Burke's in the wall. Oh, he was already a lap down.
Yeah.
Even further down now for him. But as a fan of Audi myself, it is good to see a lot of these R8s out there, because it's a beautiful car.
Yeah, I love it. I love our livery in it as well. So it's been such a shame we've got that painted and never really had the chance to use it. Oh, they're scrapping behind now. I think, is that Christian Rose now trying to get on Blake? Blake's down to 10th. Can he hold on to this top 10? I don't think he's going to. And there's a flurry of cars behind him right now. Rose, King, Foggy's only 1.3 seconds back.
Rose having a very good season for Racehub and for Ferrari. Very low on the brakes. Good move by Rose. Just that to perfection. Blake just trying to hang on now more than anything. Going down the order to 11th. Oh, nearly out of the race, Blake. Big squealing through the last corner. James King going through. Just plummeting down the order now. It's that kind of thing. It's almost like being freight trained, isn't it? You just get out of your rhythm.
Yeah, well, exactly that. And you know, you're constantly trying to sort of leave room for people coming through, and just the lap times just fall away. I mean, it was a 1:22.9, so it was way slower than what he has been doing.
Williamson versus Thompson.
Yeah. He's getting that run.
4th and 5th.
Needs to nail this, doesn't he? Oh, he's so close through there. He's got an opportunity, both cars, to get a good drive off that corner.
Freitas and Simpson in the background as well. It's the Radicals car versus the TBR car.
His teammate giving Josh a little bit of slipstream as well, trying to help him out there. Late on the brakes, Fraser, we know he's good on the brakes. Josh is extremely good on the brakes too, but not good enough in this circumstance.
And the checkered flag is out for Stuart McFadden.
Jeez.
Takes the win, Matt Bunn in 2nd. And that was an important move by Williamson. In the final chicane, Thompson relegated to 5th, Chris Woods 6th, and then all coming across in a big gaggle. McFarlane, Freitas, Simpson, Russ, and then it's King, Foggy, Blake, Davis, and McCauley.
I can only imagine McFarlane just didn't quite sneak through the through on the line. I thought he was going to get that extra lap in, but didn't quite make it.
Still gained 8/10 of a second on Matt Bunn on the final lap, so it was obviously going for it, was the Scotsman, but couldn't quite make it through for that extra one. Just looking at the drivers coming through, Stuart Atkinson and John Roberts, and Paul Smith as well. Smith looks like he's been in the wars again. Roberts going through, and also Atkinson. Michael Hall's going to be the last man over the line again. He's had a shocker so far tonight, hasn't he?
Yeah, not a meeting that he's going to remember.
Look at the state of that Ferrari. Look at the absolute state of that. Not even going to bother crossing the line, is he? Going to do it with the donut? Yeah, why not?
Backwards. It's like when you're a kid, innit? You playing in the... that's how you do it. That's how you do it, like Stuart did it the second time around.
Channeling Rob Plumley there with the backwards finish.
You know what it's like when you play and you just run circles around your mates. When you got one-on-one with the goal line, you just stop and head it in. You know, that's exactly what that is.
Get on your hands and knees and knock the ball into the net. Yeah.
Unfortunately, normally that's when you're doing well. You've done it all wrong, Michael. You need to be so far ahead in the lead, not at the back.
Well, if we do have a full, it's not actually going to be Michael Hall that'll be on pole position. It'll be Tom Jacobs.
We're not going to get full. No fulls. I've only got 36.
At all on the wheel.
Only 36 it goes to, sorry.
Right, sorry. My bad then. So John Roberts, if it is a 36, it will be him. What could be Paul Smith? Could be David Baker. 34th for Baker in the end.
Yeah.
Could well be him. So, yeah, give it a spin. See what we get.
Oh, is he going to make it? Oh, it does. So 32nd we've got.
32nd goes to Scott Malcolm. So Scotsman won the previous race. Now one's going to be on pole for race 3. Pete Harrod's going to be alongside him in the McLaren. Then it's going to be Jason Rowe. We haven't seen him really much tonight. Maciek Sakovic and Andy Shield will make up the top 5. Mark Woodhouse will be 6th. Johnny Brandon 7th. Pat Dellman will be 8th. David White will be 9th. And Matt Keeber will round out the top 10. So, well, we look forward to bringing you the final race of the evening tonight from Road Atlanta. Stick with us, and it will be here very shortly on Apex Racing TV.
again, photo finish here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher Demerit at the line.
It's the final race of the evening here at Road Atlanta in the World GT Championship with Racehub and Simmortal. It's round 9 of the season. Here on Apex Racing TV with Andrew Woodhouse and Alex Simpson bringing you all the action. Alex, 2 good races so far. We've enjoyed it. The action's been pretty clean, pretty competitive. I'm looking for more of the same here in this third one.
Yeah, me too. Really hoping for a really good race. Slightly larger reverse grid than we had last time. So we'll see how that affects the the mentality out there. The last race of the evening always does. The elbows come out a little bit more. The bigger reverse grid, so we might see we might see some action.
Let's face it, I'm getting tired and I haven't done anything today, so this is the rest of these guys, they're going to be it is the thing though, isn't it, when it gets to these fourth races, it gets towards 10 o'clock, it does get a little bit tougher to focus.
Yep, no, absolutely.
It just naturally does, and I think especially when you're having to do more overtaking, things can happen, and it makes it a lot of fun. Scott Malcolm, is he going to have some fun? We'll see. He'll be on the pole with Pete Harrod alongside him, Jason Roby 3rd, Maciej Sakovic in 4th, Andy Shield in 5th, and it's Mark Woodhouse, then it's Johnny Brandon, Bart Delman in 8th, David White 9th, Matthew Keeber in 10th. Then it's the other McLaren, Dan Lenson, so 2 McLarens inside the top 11. Pete Newman in 12th, Phil Bedford 13th, 14th is Nick Sherman, Mark Mogren is in 15th, 16th is Stephen Dawson, 17th is Jeroen Kaiser, Daniel McCauley 18th, Michael Davis 19th, and Michael Blake in 20th. Nickel Foggy is in 21st, James King 22nd, 23rd is Christian Rose, 24th is Nathaniel Simpson, Miguel Freitas 25th, Ross McFarlane 26th, Chris Wood in 27th, and then Josh Thompson in 28th, Fraser Williamson 29th, Carl Janssen in 30th, Matt Bunn 31st, then race 2 winner Stuart McFadden down in 32nd place. Robert Lundgren is in 33rd in the little gaggle of Ferraris there with Dave Baker in 34th. Paul Smith will be starting 35th. 36th will be John Roberts. Stuart Atkinson will be 37th. 38th Michael Hall. Ben Gregory 39th. Andrew Whitehead is 40th in car 40. Chris White is 41st. Then Stephen Baxter 43rd. Chaz Draycott 44th is Tom Jacobs. And then it's Stephen Burke in 45th, Dave Crozier 46th, Dion Phillips in 47th, Lee Woodburn 48th, Christian Tanahato 49th, Josh Rayfield 50th, and Mark Johnston brings up the rear in 51st, and not an unenviable task for Mr. Johnston.
No, he's got some driving to do there, hasn't he? So see how he does.
He is good though. He's got every chance.
He is. Let's see where he can get. What do you reckon? Inside the top 20? Maybe a top 15?
I say top 25.
Yeah, I'll go with inside the top 20.
Just because I know it's not easy. So 20.
I just think with the reverse grid, the big one as well, we might have a few more retirements. So that's what I'm going to say. True. So inside the top 20, you'll get. So.
That is a good point that you make. Well, and let's have a little look at. Oh, excuse me. I'm having trouble. I have this big spotters guide in front of me. Thank you very much for the guys actually for sending it out to me. It's very big. I have to actually move my head to look at the different parts of it. It's that big. So there'll be a few drivers out there who'll be looking for a little bit better look as well than what we've seen so far. Scott Malcolm goes early then. I think that's a good decision because it will spread the field out, Alex, a little bit instead of him waiting, and we've seen big accidents before when that's happened.
Yeah. This is what we need. We need it spreading out. The first couple of laps, I feel, with this big reverse grid, might just mean that first lap is not quite so manic, but who knows? We're about to find out.
So well, that's true. It's Malcolm, then it's Harrod, then Rowe, then Sakovic, and then Andy Shield in 5th place. Andy Shield's one who needs a good result, you would feel.
Yeah, really haven't seen much of Andy all season, have we? He's so quick. Scott Malcolm, Pete Harrod going at it straight away. Harrod round the outside, trying to get to the front in that Macca as quickly as he can. See if he can use the performance of that car down the straight and hold off Malcolm, because he's got him around the outside. It's a good move, and they've already started to gap Jason Rowe in 3rd place. There's 1 second separating them already. Yeah,
then Sakovic just behind them as well. Sakovic in the other Team Mad car. 3 teams, Team Mad, in this series. So they are stable mates, but not teammates as such. Is Bro and Sakovic. Shield around the outside. That is a good piece of driving. Very, very good indeed. Oh, there's a contact at the chicane. Not exactly who that was, but definitely somebody getting into somebody else.
It's tight through there, isn't it? Oh, someone's around and collected. I think. Who is that he's collected? I'm not sure. Tom Jacobs?
Spinning car.
No, it's not Tom Jacobs. It might be Tom Jacobs, sorry. Oh, every time I try and click on his name, it was Tom Jacobs.
Was it Jacobs who spun, was it?
I think it was Whitehead who spun in his BMW and caught Jacobs. Just got collected
sorry, I can't see that far down the order, I'm afraid.
Right.
Not with any great accuracy anyway. Just checking on Shield, just to make the point about Shield. At 27th last season. An absolute nightmare last season. He was 8th before the start of tonight's meeting, and going decently in this race, definitely decently, up into 3rd now.
Yeah, he took quite a bit of the curb, didn't he, on the inside there of the first of the right-handers. Got away with it. Car looked like he got a little squirrely underneath him there, but yeah, collected it up.
Someone like him should not be finishing that far down in the championship standards, I believe. Anyways, he's a very, very good driver, and we'll see a bit of that, I hope, in this race. Off! Audi off down the...
Road is getting swamped here, Andrew. He's just lost places to Sakovic, Brandon and Daleman. Newman going through as well. Rowe really, really struggling out there.
No momentum for him either. And
I mean, obviously, Rowe...
It allows the Mercedes of Woodhouse to go through as well. So Woodhouse making progress. The other Mercedes behind them of... is that Mogren? I can't...
Mogren, yeah, Mogren.
Hasn't loaded, I'm afraid, so...
Yeah, it's Mogren.
But Marco Mogren, then Jason Rowe, yeah, he just can't get it together, can he, at the minute?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we know Jason obviously got reversed, and he's not one of the front runners, so we don't expect him to be able to hold on to these places, so I don't think that we're hitting on him or anything like that.
No, he's done some decent races in the past.
But yeah, I definitely feel like he's just falling back a little quicker than perhaps he would like to at this point.
Well, he was 20th. He was 20th last season.
Yeah.
In the championship, so you know he can get it done indeed. But
foggy behind him now as well.
It's that whole thing that I'm
keep up.
It's momentum. It's when one person goes through, you get out of your rhythm, and then suddenly you don't. The next guy gets a run, then the next one, and up the inside goes Shield on Malcolm. That's P2. Shield, and he can go off after the McLaren. Sakovic now coming through on Malcolm, and I feel it's going to be the same thing for Scott Malcolm, because just putting him out of line, and you see the other Mercedes now of
Johnny Brandon
coming through. Yeah, so look, it's happening to him exactly the same. Look at it. There's another one coming through, Dellman, and Malcolm this time manages to just arrest that momentum slightly. Stay in front as those Mercedes. It's Mercedes dominating this race in terms of the top 10 anyway.
There's a heck of a battle going on behind that. I just flipped away on. Look at around about 16th place, Stephen Dawson. He's got Bedford ahead of him, Macaulay, King, Janssen, Kaiser, Wood.
They nearly crashed into each other, did King and Janssen, I think. Janssen going through.
King had a little look there, didn't he? And I think in the end it more become about trying to avoid hitting Carl than anything else there.
It was a good move by Macaulay as well to move ahead of Dawson. We do apologise to all the drivers. If we don't really see you much on the broadcast tonight, I do apologise, because obviously 50 cars, it's difficult to see everybody, but we do try our best. Car off, it's Kiba, and Kiba over the chicane. Might be a slow down. Just missed the braking point, did he? Oh, he lost it on the way in, and luckily for him, Alex, he wiggled off to the right, and he actually went back on track pretty much.
I was side by side. I wish I was on the circuit. Ross McFarlane and Williamson were side by side coming through the final corner. I was on board. That was what I was looking for.
That's the right word. But Williamson very, very quick. Oh dear me.
McFarlane not giving. He had the line there, didn't he? Let's check in on Mark Johnson. See where he is. Come on. Come on. Oh, I'm still on qualifying results. God.
Our lantern.
That's not gonna work at all. There we go. Sorry guys, you've had all the wrong information there. Like, what's going on? These people aren't in those places, but yeah.
For those
So
cycling,
Mark Johnson 35th. Come on, Mark, you need to get inside top 20 for me.
for those cycling fans among us, he was the Lantern Rouge at the start of the race, basically the red light at the back of the pack. But he's moving up, and he's 16 places, moving on up, moving on out. Nothing can stop him.
Oh, Daleman, who was that? That was stationary. Steve, wasn't Steve Burke? Ferrari on the main straight. John Roberts? Here's John Roberts. Car is... Yeah, car
it is Roberts.
Oh, what's that? Who is that?
That's a Mercedes. It looks like McFarlane had just a last-minute dive, didn't he?
Somehow they managed to all survive. Yeah, Mark's got a tall order if he's going to get to these guys.
But there's some good drivers in there. Oh, McFadden! What's happened to McFadden? He's over. He's over and he's out.
If you're going to do it properly, if you're going to do it properly. That's Stuart's motto.
Oh, and he got on the. He just went wide at the final corner. Got on the ground. Oh, and he absolutely wipes out Ben Gregory.
Let's have a look.
He had to try and get it off the line, Alex, the best he could. Gregory, unfortunately, just chose the wrong decision. As I said in Indiana Jones, you have chosen poorly.
Oh, he made a Kaspersky of that, that's for sure. Oh dear
me.
Other internet security providers are available.
Well, thank goodness after that. Hey.
Johnny Brandon then, tucked up behind Sakovic. These guys are going to go at it very soon.
Couldn't follow it, mate, I'm afraid. Brandon and, yeah, I mean, Sakovic, the thing is with Sakovic, we know, and this is, you know, no disrespect to him, he's not really always been setting the world on fire with ultimate pace, but he's won titles before. He was a Club Series champion. He knows how to put a season together. A similar way to what Baker is, and you know he's going to pick up solid results, isn't he? And really cement a good chance, challenge for the championship. I think Sakovic. He was 10th before the meeting tonight.
Yeah, just so he can keep working his way up.
Sorry, 16th before the meeting tonight. But
good results 16th. Good results like this is going to help him move up. So Pete Harrod, we haven't shown him too much, and kind of did that with Stewart in the last one when he won. So Pete, what is he now? 4 seconds clear on Andy Schell behind. So Andy's got 2 seconds to Sakovic. He's running about the same pace as those guys behind as well.
I'm going to say, if we don't show him, Zach Brown will probably give us a load of rubbish out it, won't he? He won't be happy. There's only 2 McLarens in the field, so we need to show at least one of them, I think. Shields doing a good job in second. Oh,
sorry, Andrew, I need to cut you off. Foggy was having a right old look at Marco Mogren just then through the chicane. He's got Michael Davis behind him. We know Davis don't mind putting in a little move here and there as well, and he's got the run on that BMW plenty of times tonight.
Just to quickly finish the point, Harrod about a quarter of a second quicker than Shield per lap, so that doesn't look like changing anytime soon.
I just want to pick up on a comment that Ben made about not holding the brake. I don't know if he's directing that to Stewart, but did it look like he could? Did he look like he could hold his brake there, Ben? I'm sorry, mate. You can't have that one. Yeah, you got wiped out. Apologies for that, but I don't think poor Stewart could have done too much. Yeah,
crashed
about
at 150 miles an hour. You know, I think it's quite tough.
Not going to stop the car, is it? Then, so yeah, unfortunate. Collected than that, but I don't think
Stewart had much of a chance. I mean, the only thing it could have maybe done,
it just snapped on him, didn't it? That was the problem. So right, Foggy's got that run.
And the problem is, mate, he was on the racing line when he came back on, and he was just desperately trying to get it off of the main racing line because there were like 30 or 40 other cars that were going to be coming through on that line. Unfortunately, Ben was on the other line, but it was the lesser of 2 evils, I think.
Oh, this is great through the final corner. 2 drivers really going at it. Got a couple of people behind that they just don't care about, and all of a sudden, Davis wants to try and make it 3 wide. That's put him under pressure from Carl Janssen. Janssen trying to now go around the outside. Oh, and there's a car coming out of the pits for good measure too.
That's not what they wanted, is it, those 2?
Carl through. Davis really, I think, was a bit surprised there, to be honest. Felt like he had the pace, as a little flash at the lights. Was a bit put out, I think.
I want to see Janssen versus Foggy, and we're going to get that very soon. Championship leader versus reigning series champion. I think this could be really, really good indeed.
I think he's not really gone Foggy's way, has it? He's had that, obviously, issue on the first race, and he's just kind of been recovering from that the rest of the meeting.
Second race was decent, but again, not 21st, finished about 17, something like that in race 2, so. And now he's having a go on Mogren, who's, I must admit, he's doing a lot better in this series than when he was in the BSRTC. He just never seemed to get any luck in that at all.
Mind you, I think Radicals in general didn't have any luck in the BSRTC. That's why they scampered away from it very quickly.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think you're right.
Oh, not a good one.
Sort of flooded bits as well.
Janssen now trying to get past Foggy. Oh, he took a lot of speed in there, and actually, don't know if there was contact. We were on board.
There wasn't any contact. He did really well, Janssen, to hold that line. I don't know how he did. Yeah, he flew in there. That was good.
He just used the fact that Foggy was going on the offensive there and just got snuck back under, got the better run coming off the final corner. It's good driving.
Well, that's that controlled aggression that I was talking about, man. That was a sensible risk to take. You know, it wasn't a crazy one. So hopefully that carries on for these two. I want to see these two have a good scrap though, because I just do. They're probably the two best drivers out there.
Good to see 3 different cars there as well. Mercedes, BMW, and the Audi, of course. As Janssen going to steam past his teammate, and there's not going to be so much defending going on this time. Probably needs to be right on the tail of Janssen to try and make advantage of this as well. And he's trying it.
And then Janssen very cleverly just braked 20 metres earlier than he would have normally done. And that just boxed Foggy in, didn't it? He could not make the move. Very good driving by Janssen.
Good from the team there as well. Played that quite well.
You don't often see teams necessarily doing being smart like that in these sort of series. Davies is going to be interested in this as well at some point, I think, in the BMW.
Yeah, if he gets half a sniff, like we saw Janssen do, where he can get a better run, he'll definitely throw it up the inside. I feel he's the downforce on that BMW.
Oh!
Out of shape for Mogren.
He was just a bit wide. But Foggy, you can tell the body language of the car, you can tell he needs to come through now. A big battle going on for 6th place. Newman, Zakovic and Delman. In fact, it's for 5th place, sorry.
Yeah, make it 4th, really. Newman's in 4th, isn't he?
Oh, is he? Sorry. Yeah. Brandon's cleared off from these 3.
Mark Johnston, 27th.
Oh, 25th, that says.
Do you know what? He's in a pack that leads up to 20th place. There you go. Front of that one is Matt Keeber.
Well, you never know.
Come on, Mark. Come on, Mark.
Said, yeah. Oh,
gotta have
good move. Mark Delman, good move there.
Oh, sorry, I flipped away from it. Trying to G on Mark.
Oh, and that's surprise. A wild Carl Janssen appeared. Just absolutely toasted Zakovic there.
And we missed
standing still.
We missed Foggy getting past as well on Mogren. Davis also getting through as well. So something must have gone on there.
Mogren went off at the last corner. He didn't really lose a lot of time. Maybe a second he lost there.
Oh, we've got someone around. Jason Rowe in the Team Mad car. What happened to Rowe?
You know, after all that business earlier on of him losing a lot of places, he'd sort of stemmed the tide and he was 12.
No, I think he's gonna. There might be contact. There might be contact here. I don't know who it is.
He was running with King and with Dawson.
Oh, it was King. And to be fair, that wasn't. It's nothing yet. Oh, okay. So there you go. That's how we got around. So, the move with King.
Racing incident.
It's just totally fair. And then of course it was actually coming back on. There was the contact there, wasn't there? So.
I think it looked like Rose slightly misjudged maybe the cutback on that one.
Delman and and Janssen around, tried to do the move, and that's allowed Foggy to get past Delman. There you go. I'll get the names out of him in a minute. So, but
around the
where
outside.
is he?
So he made the initial move. Both were late on the brakes. Whoa, that's a tough one. That's a real tough one.
Squeezing him, isn't he, to the left is Carl, trying to pinch him in. They almost just took a little bit.
Sorry, I was going to say, I don't think I don't think that one's as much on him as the first one was. But it is kind of that. That's what I meant by margins, mate. That's exactly there, manifesting itself. It's just
proof. Your proof is in the pudding, isn't it?
It's twice in the meeting. You see that.
Yeah.
And if you'd have given, and I know it's easy for me to say, but if you'd have given another 6 inches of space, it has still made those moves, I think, work. But just, you know, he wouldn't have had 2 collisions.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens next time. You know, again, like you said, we'll see. It's a long season.
I mean,
Phil Bedford,
what's fortunate for him?
King go through his lapped car.
Sorry, what's fortunate for him is he's still in there. He's not had any. He's not DNF'd from them. It could have easily been 2 DNFs. You know.
You're right. In some tracks and some corners, that's in the wall and that's stacked like Foggy did earlier on. Rose versus Dawson is a good battle that these two are having at the middle of just outside the top 10, 13th and 14th. Rose having a good season so far. I know it's early days, but he could be a contender in this one.
Johnston, 26th place. He's about to make your prediction come true. Who's he got in front of him? Matt Bunn.
Oh, Johnston's lost his bonnet though, mate.
Oh, that's not going to go on. He's not in that big pack anymore, so he's actually dropping down the order. All this good faith. His teammates must have told him we were talking about him. We cursed him completely.
Well, he's just been under attack by Atkinson, but he managed to get away with that. So 26th on Sherman's making a mess of the first sector. Nick Sherman's in the Mercedes, and he's driving for himself, his private team. Pete Harrod's got 2 laps to go, Alex, and it's been nice, easy sailing for him. A 4/10 on Andy Shield on that lap again, and just easing the gap out just to the point where he can be comfortable now.
When you get a nice, when you get a nice reverse, and Pete's very quick. He was able to get to the front, wasn't he? Like halfway through the first lap, he's just been able to pull away. So while all these guys have been fighting, trying to get into a position where they can start to hunt him down, it's just not really materialised for them, and he's just been able to do his thing under relatively no pressure whatsoever.
And that was a man who was fifth in the championship last season, Pete Harrod, and he didn't take a win. So if he does get where he is now, his first win for a good couple of seasons in this championship. I don't know if he won any in season 1. I must admit we weren't covering season 1, so I don't actually know anything that happened.
Yeah, good to see him get a win. Didn't know that he didn't win last season. Felt like it would have been a shoe-in for a win. But Pete Newman, great first sector, really closed in on the back of Johnny Brandon. He's got Brandon's teammate coming up on him in Foggy, so it's going to be the meat in a Northern Lights Racing Mercedes sandwich.
And I can't think of many worse things in this series, because those Northern Lights Racing drivers are clinical and they're fast.
Oh, nice little cutback! Oh no! Oh well, it's going to take both of them out. Bang! Foggy trying desperately to avoid them. Does he? I think he does. That was like a dummy, wasn't it?
Somebody might be found to be a dummy. Let's have a look. Newman. Oh dear. Well, I don't know. It looked like Foggy was trying to come across. Sorry, Brandon. Sorry, it looked like he was trying to come across to the right, and then sort of changed his mind.
Yeah.
And looked like he pushed Newman off. I don't know. It's not intentional, of course.
I don't think Pete really knew where he was going, and then he was like, right, well, I'm going for the inside, and Brandon was going for the inside as well.
The thing is, at some point, mate, you've got to make a decision as the overtaking driver, haven't you? You can't.
Yeah.
You've got to make a decision, and so you do as the driver is in front as well. It's one for the stewards, I think. Pete Harrod, however, is going to be picking up the champagne at the end of this, and well, he's deserved it extremely. He's driven very, very well. Started second. He made quick work of Scott Malcolm, and he's just driven away from the field methodically, easily, and through for the final race of the day. Then Pete Harrod takes his first win of the season, and that is Well deserved. Well
Foggy's
done,
out of fuel.
Andy Shield in second. Foggy. Oh, he's crawling home. That means Davis is going to be on the podium for BMW. BMW on the podium. First time in a while for that. Daleman gets fourth in the end. Is Foggy going to make it to the line?
That just sums up Foggy's season so far.
He does make it to the line, and he gets only 13th. Dear me. Did Janssen just beaten by his teammate Macaulay? That Macaulay on the lap, King in 9th. Good driving from him. Chris and Rose in 10th. King's looking solid in that Audi, isn't he, as well? We know James quite well. And
we know James well. A couple of times with
performance.
Met up at the Expo. So I believe a few more of those are going next year. And actually, to those guys, they need to get in touch, I think, with us, because we're in the process of talking to the park about booking the
houses.
The houses and stuff like that. So maybe actually we could do like a big bulk booking of like 3 or something. So
that makes sense.
James, if you watch it back, get in touch and we'll see, because we've had quotes for 3 houses already, because we've taken quite a few people this time.
It was good last year. I will well, I might plug that. I might do a cheap plug on that as well, because that is going to be the 2018 ADAC Sim Racing Expo is going to be held at the Nürburgring circuit in Germany on the 14th to the 16th of September. So, I mean, it's a good event. It's a really, really good event. There's sim racing. There's live races on the big screens there as well. There's some championships going on. There's live LAN races as well. Yeah, we had a hell of a time the last 2 years that we've been. So it's definitely one that.
Party's not our place this time, though.
No. No.
We dealt with that last year. Could be somebody else's problem this time.
I'm now teetotal as a result of that, which is a complete and utter lie, by the way. I'm not going anywhere near Coanda again. It's the Finns. I'm telling you, it's the Finns, I'm afraid. But anyway, so let's take you through the finishing order then as this meeting comes to a close. Pete Harrod takes the win ahead of Andy Shield, Michael Davis in 3rd, Bart Dalman in 4th, Marco Mogren 5th, 6th for Maciej Sakovic, Dan McCauley in 7th with Carl Janssen in 8th place. Still made up 22 positions, did Janssen. King in 9th and Rose in 10th, Dawson 11th. Then Wood, Foggy, Baker, Woodhouse, Kaiser, Baxter, White, Thompson and Simpson making up the top 20. And then the retirements really then there weren't that many. John Roberts was the last of them, and Dan Lenson, Robert Lundgren, Scott Malcolm, and then McFadden, Gregory Burke, Hall, Crozier, and Tanahato. Tanahato not with a good meeting for him tonight. But yeah, mate, that was a good. I really enjoyed that meeting. I thought it was great, and
three good races,
really good fun. The World GT Championship, it keeps going from strength to strength. The admins are doing a fantastic job with it, and I do think that it's already one of the best GT leagues I think around. So, yeah. And it can only get better, I think, as we go on through the season.
I just point out we're getting our own Discord server sorted out. We're on our team one at the moment, but we will get an Apex Racing TV Discord server out so you guys can just hop over here and chat to us after the meeting. It'll probably be easier to do it that way rather than us being in yours with permissions and things like that, because we can move people in and be admins of our own server and stuff like that. So we will sort that out now that I know how to set it all up. I've done this. I've done the Academy one. I will. I'll do the TV one next week, and then we will sort out interviews and stuff like that then. But yeah, as for now, I'm in the team channel. We're in the team channel that has no permissions or anything, and of course, there's data in there that we can't share. so
next week, just to go on from that, next week is we're at Spa-Francorchamps, Alex. Obviously, a great venue and one that's brilliant for sports car racing, GT racing in general. We're at it's the endurance layout of Spa. Because I think it's the only one with the amount of garages that is necessary. But what do you expect from that one? Who do you think is going to be strong there? I mean, it could suit Ferrari, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could do. I mean, I still think, obviously, the Audis will be strong. I will be interested to see what this build tweak does to the Mercedes, because it's there or thereabouts now. That will make it just a little bit quicker again. That might bring them up onto the Audi's sort of pace. The Macca's pretty quick still. I mean, not a lot of people have
Straight line, yeah.
have used that car. But actually, it's quite quick in the BOP testing that we did.
Harrod just won the race.
Yeah, exactly.
In the McLaren, and he went away from the Mercedes in drivers' hands that you kind of consider to be fairly equal. So
yeah, there was two in the top 10 in the Blancpain GT World Championship as well. So they're not slow. So we have got quite a good BOP, and I think the Mercedes, this will come up to speed with perhaps some of the others. I still think I
just think they need to give the Ferrari and the BMW a tiny bit of a leg up.
Yeah,
to be in that mix.
The Beam, like you say, it has its strengths at some circuits, and it really is very, very quick at those circuits. But most of the time, it's just not performing. So yeah, hopefully they can do something with that, but I don't think they are.
It's amazing though.
Yeah, the Ferrari, that's too new. That was quick when it first came out, but it'll come around on its cycle again. They'll speed it up. It's
amazing though, mate. Actually, how there's only 6 meetings of the season left already. And we go to Snetterton 200, which it's my favourite version of Snetterton. It reminds me of the kind of 20 years ago, the touring cars that, some of the great races that they had there, the night racing and things. Brands Hatch GP comes next, and then Monza, and then, which is anybody's race, really, Monza, I think. Suzuka, and then it finishes at Daytona and the road course. So there's a lot of opportunities for drivers to really make some inroads, aren't there? So I reckon it's going to be a good one, man.
Yeah, I just want to. There's a couple of people asking which Discord and stuff we're on. As I just mentioned, I'm on the Apex UK Team one, which has just been set up and got no permissions and some private data, so I can't send you an invite to get in for now. But we will have an Apex Racing TV Discord that you can join next week. So apologies for the lack of interviews and stuff like that. Noob with that. Discord here, figuring it out.
We'll get it sorted for next week, don't you worry. But thank you very much, by the way, Alex, for doing the broadcast as usual. I know it's difficult with the 60 cars, so yeah, well done, and go and get some rest, and we'll be back for the Rickmatech Sports Car Series, which begins just after 1 AM right here on the channel. So
I'm ready.
We are indeed ready.
So Nürburgring, is it the Nordschleife or is it the Nürburgring? Oh, okay.
So it'll be a much better race than it would have been at the Nordschleife, I think. So yeah, we'll see you back there then in just a few hours' time for that. And from all of us here from the World GT Championship, it's good night from us, and we'll see you next week.